Thank you for taking the time to respond to this survey looking at strategies to improve walkability and bikeability along 38th Avenue between Kipling and Youngfield. Activate 38 is a program of Local Works in partnership with the City of Wheat Ridge. It started in November of 2016, made possible with a planning grant from Kaiser Permanente and their Active Living Neighborhood Program, as well as a Community Challenge grant from AARP. The purpose of Active 38 is to increase active transportation, getting around by walking, biking, or other physically active means, along 38th Avenue west of Kipling to Youngfield. It also aims to improve transit and wheelchair accessibility along the corridor. This community-informed process will lead to the development of an active living plan for the neighborhood adjacent to 38th. Active 38 has an active coalition of organizations, schools, public agencies, local business owners, and residents that have provided guidance and input on a regular basis. Over the course of 2016 and early 2018, this coalition has been working together to gather community input and data to identify key stakeholder concerns and to inform the development of the Active Living Plan. This has included workshops and demonstration projects and using coalition and community input to identify and prioritize short, medium, and long-term improvements in the project area. In 2017, we conducted audits and interviews focusing on active transportation and safety. Some of the more enlightening interviews came from meeting people out and about in the community and getting to hear what it is like walking, biking, and trying to get around without a car in the area. We also conducted youth walking labs at 4 of the neighborhood schools using a technique called red frame, green frame, with kids walking around their school and taking pictures through the frames, highlighting the places that don't feel safe and the places where pedestrian infrastructure is good. We also learned a lot at a demonstration event that we held at Parfait and 38th on October 7th, where we added a colorful crosswalk, we experimented with different types of bike lanes and pedestrian zones, and we had several tables of information from organizations working on active living issues locally and nationally. We also had a naming contest for the Active 38 mascot, Apple the Wheat Ridge Chicken. The Active Living Coalition identified 4 key barriers to active walking, biking, rolling, and riding on the corridor. First, how can we improve street crossings so that it is safer and easier to cross the street in more locations? Second, how can we get cars to slow down? Strategies that city planners refer to as traffic calming techniques. Next, are there places where we can separate uses, building sidewalks and real bike lanes? And finally, what are some of the strategies to enhance the feeling that the street is for people, not just cars, so that people can get around by other means? So this brings us to the survey. We want your help rating potential short-term, mid-term, and long-term actions. 12 within each time frame, 36 in total. Here is a table showing all 36 and how they fit under the 4 categories that we talked about in the previous slide. For the survey, we ask you to rate the actions one at a time. We provide images of what it might look like and a sentence or 2 description. Rate each action on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being your favorites. While you're rating each action, think about which ones you would like to see implemented the most during each time frame, and to what extent you feel it would have a positive impact encouraging walking, biking, rolling, and riding along the corridor. You can have multiple 5s if you like them all, or multiple 1s if you don't like any of them. Within each time frame, it helps us, however, if scores vary enough to shed light on which actions stand out above the rest. On the lower right-hand corner of each image, you'll also see golden eggs. These represent time and resources on a scale of 1 to 4. If it has 1 egg, that action should be fairly easy and inexpensive to happen. If it has 4 eggs, it's still doable, but it will take some time and a fair amount of resources. And at the end of the survey, we have one last exercise. We ask you to use checkboxes to distribute a total of 7 coins of a limited budget to different strategies. If you want to see more sidewalks, 1,000 feet will require at least 4 of your 7 coins. 12 wayfinding signs or restriping a 1,000-foot section of road each require 2 coins, while adding pet-activated signs to 4 locations requires only 1 coin. Check up to 7 boxes in total. Thank you so much for your time and input. We really appreciate it.